This is the man in black, here to introduce Colombia's program tonight as we premiere our new Saturday evening series on the air. Miss Agnes Moorehead returns to our stage to appear in the Study in Terror by Lucille Fletcher called Sorry, Wrong Number. This story of a woman who accidentally overheard a conversation with death and who strove frantically to prevent murder from claiming an innocent victim is being repeated by popular request as tonight's tale of suspense. If you've been asked before, you will know that suspense is compounded of mystery and suspicion and dangerous adventure. In this series, are tales calculated to intrigue you, to stir your nerves, to offer you a precarious situation, and then withhold the solution until the last possible moment. And so, it is with the story Sorry, Wrong Number and the performance of Miss Agnes Moorehead. We again hope to keep you in.
Oh dear.
Your call, please.
Operator, I've been dialing Mirror Hill 7093 now for the last 3/4 of an hour, and the line is always busy. I don't see how it could be busy that long. Will you try it for me, please?
I will be glad to try the number for you. One moment, please.
I don't see how it could be busy all this time. It's my husband's office. He's working late tonight, and I'm all alone here in the house. My health is very poor, and I've been feeling so nervous all day.
Hello?
Hello? Is Mr. Stevenson there?
Hello? Hello?
Hello, George.
Yes, sir, this is George speaking.
Hello? Who's this? What number I am calling? Please?
I'm here with our client.
Good. Is everything okay? Is the cost clean for tonight?
Yeah, George. He says the coast is clear for tonight.
Okay.
Where are you now?
In a phone booth. Don't worry, everything's okay. Oh.
Very well. You know the address?
Yeah, I know. At 11 o'clock, the private patrolman goes around to the bar on 2nd Avenue for a beer.
That's right, at 11 o'clock.
I will make sure that all the lights downstairs are out.
There should be only one light visible from the street.
Yeah, I know. At 11:15, a train crosses the bridge. It makes a noise. In a case her windows open and she should scream.
Oh, hello? What number is this, please?
I understand. I tell you, that's 11:15, the train.
Yeah, you remember everything else, George?
Yeah, I make it quick, as little blood as possible. Because our client does not wish to make her suffer long.
That's right. You'll use a knife.
Yes, a knife will be okay. And afterwards, I remove the rings and the bracelets and the jewelry in the bureau drawer. Because our client wishes is to look like simple robbery. Don't worry, everything's okay. I never
Oh, awful! How unspeakably awful!
Your call, please.
Operator, I've just been cut off.
I'm sorry. What number were you calling?
Why? It was supposed to be Mary Hill 7093, but it wasn't. Some wire must have crossed. I was cut into the wrong number, and I've just heard the most dreadful thing. Something about a murder and operator. You simply have to retrace that call at once.
I beg your pardon. May I help you?
Oh, I know, it was a wrong number, and I had no business listening. But these two men, they were cold-blooded fiends, and they were going to murder somebody, some poor innocent woman who was all alone in a house near a bridge, and we've got to stop them. We've got to.
Ah, what number were you calling? Please.
Well, that doesn't matter. This was a wrong number, and you dialed it for me, and we've got to find out what it was immediately.
What number did you call?
Oh, why are you so stupid? What time is it? Do you mean to tell me that you can't find out what that number was just now?
I'll connect you with the chief operator.
Oh, I think it's perfectly shameful. Now, look. Look, it was obviously a case of some little slip of a finger. I told you to try Mary Hill 70093 for me. You dialed it, but your finger must have slipped and I was connected with someone other number. And I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me. Now, I simply fail to see why you couldn't make that same mistake again to purpose. Why couldn't try to dial Mary Hill 70093 in the same sort of careless way?
Murray Hill 70093.
Yes?
I'll try to get it for you.
Well, thank you.
I'm sorry. Murray Hill 70093 is busy. I'll call you in 20 minutes.
Operator! Operator! Operator!
Your call, please.
You didn't try to get that wrong number at all. I asked you explicitly and you did was dialed correctly.
I'm sorry. What number are you calling?
Well, can't you for once forget what number I'm calling and do something for me? Now I want to trace that call. It's my civic duty, and it's your civic duty to trace that call and apprehend those dangerous killers. And if you want,
I will connect you with the chief operator.
please. Oh dear.
This is the chef operator.
Oh, chef operator, I want you to trace a telephone call immediately. I don't know where it came from or who was making it, but it's absolutely necessary that it be tracked down because it was about a murder that someone's planning. A terrible, cold-blooded murder of a poor innocent woman tonight at 11:15.
I see.
Well, can you trace it for me? Can you track down those men?
I'm not certain. It depends.
Depends on what?
It depends on whether the call is still going on. If it's a live call, we can trace it on the equipment. If it's been disconnected, we can't.
Disconnected?
If the parties have stopped talking to each other,
Oh, but of course, they must have stopped talking to each other by now. That was at least 5 minutes ago, and they didn't sound like a type who would make a long call.
well, I can try tracing it. May I have your name, please?
Mrs. Estevenson. Mrs. Albert Estevenson. But listen.
And your telephone number, please?
Plaza 4-2295. But if you go on wasting all this time,
Why do you want this call traced, please?
well, I will no reason. I mean, I merely felt very strongly that something ought to be done about it. These men sounded like killers. They're dangerous. They're going to murder this woman at 11:15 tonight. At I thought the police ought to know.
Have you reported this to the police?
Well, no, not yet.
You want this call checked purely as a private individual?
Yes, but meanwhile.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Stevenson, but I'm afraid we couldn't make this check for you and trace the call just on your say-so as a private individual. We'd have to have something more official.
Oh, for heaven's sake, you mean to tell me I can't report that there's gonna be murder without getting tied up in all this red tape? Why? It's perfectly idiotic. Well, alright, I'll call the police.
Thank you. I'm sure that would be the best way too.
Ridiculous. Perfectly ridiculous. The thought of it. I can't see why I have to go to all this trouble. Oh,
Your call, please.
the police department. Get me the police department, please.
Thank you.
Oh dear, do you have to dial? Can you ring them direct?
Ringing the police department.
Police station. Present 43. Sergeant Martin speaking.
Police department? This is Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Smythe Stevenson of 53 North Sutton Place. I'm calling up to report a murder. The murder hasn't been committed yet, but I just overheard plans for it over the telephone, over a wrong number that the operator gave me. I've been trying to trace down the call myself, but everybody is so stupid. And I guess in the end, you're the only people who can do anything.
Yes, ma'am.
It was a perfectly definite murder. I heard their plans distinctly. Two men were talking and they were going to murder some woman at 11:15 tonight. She lived in the house near a bridge. Are you listening to me?
Ah, yes, ma'am.
And there was a private patrolman on the street. He was going to go around for a bear on 2nd Avenue. And there was some third man, a client who was paying to have this poor woman murdered. They were going to take her rings and bracelets and use a knife. Well, it is unnerved me dreadfully. And I'm not well, and I feel so nerved.
I see. When was all this, ma'am?
About 8 minutes ago. Then you can do something? You do understand.
What is your name, ma'am?
Mrs. Stevenson. Mrs. Albert Stevenson.
And your address?
53 North Sutton Place. 53 North Sutton Place. That's near a bridge, the Queensboro Bridge. You know, and we have a private patrolman on our street and 2nd Avenue.
And what was that number you were calling?
Murray Hill 7093, but that wasn't the number. Murray Hill 7093 is my husband's office. He's working late tonight and I was trying to reach him to ask him to come home. I'm an invalid, and it's she maid's night off and I hate to be alone. Even thought he says I'm perfectly safe as long as I have the telephone right beside my bed.
Well, we'll look into it, Mr. Stevenson, and see if we can check it with the telephone company.
But the telephone company said they couldn't check the call if the parties had stopped talking. I've already taken care of that.
Oh, you have?
Yes, and personally, I feel you ought to do something far more immediate and drastic than just check the call. What good does checking the call do if they stop talking? By the time you track it down, they'll already have committed the murder.
Well, we'll take care of it. Don't you worry.
Well, I'd say the whole thing calls for a search, a complete thorough search of a whole city. Now, I'm very near the bridge and I'm not far from 2nd Avenue. And I know I'd feel a whole lot better if you sent around a radio car to this neighborhood at once.
And what makes you think the number's going to be committed in your neighborhood, ma'am?
Well, I I don't know. Only the coincidence is so horrible. 2nd Avenue, the patrolman, the bridge.
Second Avenue is a very long street, ma'am. And you know how many bridges there are in the city of New York alone?
Yes, I know.
How do you know isn't some little house in a Staten Island on some little Second Avenue you never even heard about? How do you know they're even talking about New York at all?
But I heard the call on the New York dialing system.
It was a long distance call you overheard.
Oh, don't!
Telephones are funny things. Look, lady, why don't you look at it this way? Supposing you hadn't broken in on that telephone call? Supposing you got your husband the way you always do, you wouldn't be so upset, would you?
Well, no, I suppose not. Only it sounded is inhuman, so cold-blooded.
A lot of murders are plotted in this city every day. Ma'am, we managed to prevent almost of them.
But
But a clue of this kind is so vague. It isn't much more use to us than no clue at all.
surely you?
Unless, of course, you have some reason for thinking this call was phony and that someone may be planning to murder you.
Me? Oh, no, I hardly think so. I mean, why should anybody? I'm alone all day and night. I see nobody except my maid, Eloise, and she's big girl. She's weighs 200 pounds. She's too lazy to bring up my breakfast tray and the other person in my husband, Albert, he's crazy about me. He just adores me. He waits on me hand and foot. He's scarcely left my side since I took sick. Well, 12 years ago.
Well, then, there's nothing for you to worry about. Now, if you just leave the rest of this to us, we'll take care of it.
What will you do? It's too late. It's nearly 11 now.
We'll take care of it, lady.
You broadcast it all over the city and send out squads and warn radio cars to watch out, especially in suspicious neighborhoods like mine.
Lady, I said we take care of it. Just now, I got a couple of other matters here on my desk and require immediate attention. Good night, ma'am, and thank you.
Oh, you idiot. Oh, now, why did I hang up the phone like that? He'll think I am a fool. Oh, why doesn't Albert come home? Why doesn't he? Why doesn't he come home?
Your call, please.
Operator, for heaven's sake, will you ring that Mary Hill 7093 number again? I can't think what's keeping him so long.
I will try it for you.
Well, try. I don't see why he doesn't answer it.
I'm sorry, Murray Hill 70093 is busy. I will.
I can't hear it. You don't have to tell me. I know it's busy. If I could only get out of it bed a little while, if I could get breath of fresh air, just lean out the window and see the street. Hello, Albert? Hello? 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 Oh, what's the matter with this phone? Hello? 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 Oh, for heaven's sake, who is this? Hello? 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 Oh, who's trying to call me? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Operator, I don't know what's the matter with this telephone tonight, but it's positively driving me crazy. I've never seen such inefficient, miserable service. Now look. I'm an invalid. I'm very nervous, and I'm not supposed to be annoyed. But if this keeps on much longer,
What seems to be the trouble, please?
everything's wrong. I haven't had one bit satisfaction out of one call I've made this evening. The whole world could be murder for all you people care. And now my phone keeps ringing and ringing and ringing and ringing every 5 seconds, and when I pick up, there's no one there.
I'm sorry. If you will hang up, I will test it for you.
I don't want you to test it for me. I want you to put that call through whatever it is at once.
I'm afraid I cannot do that.
You can? And why? Why? May I ask?
The dial system is automatic. If someone is trying to dial your number, there is no way to check it if the call is coming through the system or not, unless the person who's trying to reach you complains to his particular operator.
Well, all of the stupid, and meanwhile I've got to sit here in my bed, suffering every time the phone rings, imagining everything.
I will try to check the trouble for you.
Check it! Check it! That's all anybody can do. Oh, what's that use of talking to you? You're so stupid. Oh, I'll fix her. Of all the impudent, how dare she speak me like that? How dare she? Call the operator. Oh, why does it take so long?
Your call, please.
Young woman, I don't know your name, but there are ways of finding you out, and I'm going to report you to superiors for the most unpardonable rudeness and insolence. It's ever been my privilege. Give me the business office at once.
You may dial the number direct.
Dial it direct? I'll do no such thing. I don't even know the number.
The number is in the directory, or you may secure it by dialing information.
Listen, here, you. Oh, what's the use? Oh, dear? Oh, for heaven's sake, I'm going out of my mind. Out of my... Hello? Hello? Stop ringing me. Do you hear? Answer me. Who is this? Do you realize you're driving me crazy? Who's calling me? What are you doing it for? Now stop. Stop it. Stop it. Hello. Hello. If you don't stop ringing me, I'm going to call the police. Do you hear? The police. Oh, if Albert would only come home. Oh, let it ring. Let it go on ringing. It's a trick of some kind. I won't answer it. I won't. Even if it goes on ringing all night. Oh, you ring. Go ahead and ring. Stop now! Now, what's the matter? Why did they stop ringing all of the sudden? Oh, what time is it? Where did I put the clock? Oh, here it's 5 to 11. Oh, they've decided something. They're sure I'm home. They heard my voice answer them just now. That's why they've been ringing me. Why no one has answered me? I'll call the operator again. Oh, where is she? Why doesn't she answer? Why doesn't she answer?
Your call, please.
Where were you just now? Why didn't you answer at once? Give me the police department.
I'm sorry, the line is busy. I will call you.
Busy? But that's impossible. The police department can be busy. There must be other lines available.
The line is busy. I will try to get them for you later.
No! I've got to speak to them now. or it may be too late. I've got to talk to someone.
What number do you wish to speak to?
I don't know, but there must be someone to protect people beside the police department. A detective agency.
You will find agencies list in the classified directory.
But I don't have a classified. I mean, I'm too nervous to look it up, and I don't know how to use the.
I connect you with information. Perhaps she will be able to help you.
No, no. Oh, you're being spiteful. Are you? You don't care, do you? What happens to me? I could die and you wouldn't care. Oh, stop it. Stop it. Stop it. I can't stand anymore. Hello. What do you want? Stop ringing. Will you stop it?
Hello, is this Plaza 4-2295?
Yes. Yes, I'm sorry. This is Plaza 4-2295.
This is Western Union. I have a telegram here for Mrs. Albert Stevenson. Is there anyone there to receive the message?
I'm Mrs. Stevenson.
The telegram is as follows. Mrs. Albert Stevenson, 53 North Southern Place, New York, New York. Darling, terribly sorry. Tried to get you for last hour, but line busy. Leaving for Boston 11 p.m. tonight. On urgent business. Back tomorrow afternoon. Keep happy. Love, signed, Albert.
Oh no.
Do you wish us to deliver a copy of the message?
No, thank you.
Thank you, madam. Good night.
Good night. Oh no. No. I don't believe it. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. Not when he knows I'll be all alone. Some trick, some fiendish trick.
Your call, please.
Operator, try that Murray Hill 7093 number for me. Just once more, please.
You may dial that number direct.
Oh. Oh, he's gone. He's gone. Oh, Albert, how could you? How could you? How could you? I can't be alone tonight. I can't. If I'm alone one more second, I'll go mad. I don't care what he says or what expense is. I'm sick woman. I'm entitled. I'm entitled.
Information. May I help you?
I want the telephone number of Henchley Hospital.
Henchley Hospital. Do you have the street's address?
No, it's somewhere in the 70s. It's every small, private, and exclusive hospital where I had my appendix out 2 years ago. Henchley. Hench.
1 moment, please.
Please hurry, and please, what is the time?
May find out the time by dialing Meridian 7-1212.
Oh, for heaven's sake, I've no time to be dialing.
The number of Henchley Hospital is Butterfield 7-0105.
Butterfield 7-0105. Henchley Hospital, good evening. Nurses Registry. Who was it you wish to speak to, please? I want the nurses registry at once. I want a trained nurse. I want to hire her immediately for the night. I see. And what is the nature of the case, madam? Nerves. I'm very nervous. I need shooting, companionship. You see, my husband is away and I'm... Have you been recommended to us by any doctor in particular, madam? No, but I really don't see why all this chasing is necessary. I just want a trained nurse. I was a patient in your hospital 2 years ago, and after all, I do expect to pay this person for attending me. We quite understand that, madam, that these are war times, you know. Well, registered nurses are very scarce. just now, and our superintendent has asked to send people out only the cases where his physician in charge feels that it is absolutely necessary. Well, it is absolutely necessary. I'm a sick woman. I'm very upset. I'm alone in this house. And I'm an invalid. And tonight I overheard the telephone conversation that upset me dreadfully. In fact, if someone doesn't come at once, I'm afraid I'll go out of my mind. I see. Well, I'll speak to Miss Phillips as soon as she comes in. And what is your name, madam? Miss Phillips? And when do you expect her in? Well, I really couldn't say. She went out to Superior at 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock? But it's not 11 yet. Oh, my clock has stopped. I thought it was running down. What time is it? Just 15 minutes past 11. What? What was that? What, madam? That click just now in my own telephone. I thought someone has lifted the receiver off the hook and extension telephone downstairs. Well, I didn't hear it, madam. Now, about this. I did. There's someone in this house, someone downstairs in the kitchen, and they're listening to me now there. I won't pick it up. I won't let them hear me. I'll be quiet. They'll think, oh, but if don't call someone now while they're still down, there'll be no time.
Your call, please.
Operator, I'm in desperate trouble.
I'm sorry, I cannot hear you. Please speak louder.
I don't dare. There's someone listening. Can you hear me now?
I'm sorry.
But you've got to hear me. Oh, please, you've got to help me. There's someone in this house. Someone is going to murder me, and you've got to get in touch with. Oh, there it is. There it is. Did you hear it? He's put it down. He's put it down, the extension phone. He's coming. He's coming. Upstairs. Give me the police department. The police department. The police department. Give it to me.
1 moment, please. I will connect you.
I can hear him. He's nearer. Oh, I hear him. I hear him. Hurry.
Police Department, Sergeant Martin speaking. Police Department, Sergeant Martin speaking.
This department. Oh, I'm sorry. Must have got the wrong number. Don't worry. Everything's okay. And so closest. Sorry, wrong number. Starring Miss Agnes Moorehead. Tonight's tale of
Suspense.